distinguished persons who have joined this online platform, and my dear friends. I am happy that we had a great session with Dr. Govindankutti, Associate Professor IIST. This is the second program scheduled in Prof.G.Aruldhas Memorial Webinar Series. I appreciate the sincere efforts from Department of Physics, ST College, especially Dr. Jagesh Chandran, my dear friend, to associate with this venture. During the inaugural session, we had a number of requests from many of our participants to talk about climate change. It is nice to hear from Dr. Govindankutti in detail about the tropical cyclone and climate change. In this contest, I have to tell that we are a group of 16 plus 1, 17 institutions joining hands to celebrate the joy in sharing knowledge taught to us from a great teacher, Professor G.Aruldhas. Myself, my sister, my father and my mother all studied physics from Aruldhas sir. I am sharing a few photos of his home for you all to see. These were the same places where we sit together and definitely eat snacks and then do problems, share thoughts in various branches of physics. I had the privilege of teaching with him. Aruldhas sir often used to take 3-hour morning session in quantum mechanics, while I used to take solid state physics in the afternoon 3-hour session. In between, we had about a half an hour to talk. And he always talked about science. That I have to mention. He always talked about his plans in writing new books. His thoughts were always in research areas and how he can establish a good relation between a teacher and a student. I should say, his talks never contained gossips. Once again, talks contained 0 gossips. People remember him for that. I should add that he lived ahead of times where he treated students as his friends. I am still trying to imitate his ways. And this venture is a humble effort in these lines. Once again, my wishes for the success of the program. Let more programs be planned in the same platform for knowledge sharing, as well as let us meet eminent persons. Let us hear from them. Let us share their expertise in the concerned field with everyone. We, in the comforts of our home, do pay homage to this legendary teacher who made this platform possible. Once again, thank you all and best wishes.
Good morning to all. I am very happy to note that alumni and faculty members of Department of Physics, University of Kerala is organizing Prof. G.Aruldhas Memorial Webinar Series. Indeed, it's a great pleasure for me to be a part of this event. In 1983, I joined with him as a second student working on ramen scattering. Initially, we had a lot of problems in making the ramen equipment to be perfectly all right. Myself and Dr. K. Vishwanathan spent a lot of time on all this. And all the time, he has given me a lot of encouragement and has given us full freedom to work on this equipment. And which I appreciate on Professor Aruldhas is that he spends a lot of time with his students on evaluating their research manuscripts. He was very patient and he was listening to us. Whenever there is a difference of opinion on a particular point, he says, "You think about it and come back to me next day." So I will go back to my room and used to think, and I used to feel that whatever he said is correct. And another admiring quality is that he has very high human values, which I learned from him, and it has helped me a long run to be a good administrator at ISET Trivandrum and also the head of the Department of Physics at Madurai Kamaraj University. Indeed, I appreciate everyone who is contributing for this webinar series. Wish you them best of luck.
Hello everyone, I am Sheva. I am currently working as Assistant Professor of Physics at Maharajas College, Ernakulam. When Dr. Sibi called me and asked me to express my memories with Aruldhas sir, I recall my youthful days. I met Aruldhas sir when I was doing my MPhil in the year 1991. He taught us quantum mechanics and he was the HOD at that time. He was working on a book based on quantum mechanics and he gave us 500 copies of the same. That was very useful for us. He got retired at the same year. The last time, in 2005, I met him during an interview at PSC office where he was the subject expert. He was a loving and caring teacher. I can list out various instances, but due to the limited time, I am shortening my words. I was one of the lucky students who could experience his teaching. And lastly, I thank Dr. Sibi for giving me an opportunity to express my gratitude towards Aruldhas sir. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. It is my great pleasure to be a part of the webinar series jointly organized by Department of Physics, Kerala University, Alumni Association, Department of Physics, Kerala University, and SD College, Alappuzha, in memorial of our great teacher, Dr. Aruldhas sir. One of the great losses in my life is that I could not get the opportunity as a student of Dr. Aruldhas sir. But many of his students like Dr. Jayasri V of DB College Shastankota taught me during my graduate level and postgraduate level. From the words of JC teacher, I could understand how eminent persons like Dr. Aruldhas sir taught the subject as well as inspire the passion of students. After that, when I joined for my PhD course at MG University Kottayam under the guidance of Dr. C.S. Menon, who was a close friend of Dr. Aruldhas sir, I got several opportunities to interact with him and serve him during his visits at MG University. Aruldhas sir still inspiring, imparting knowledge to the younger students or younger generations through his students and through his writings. I appreciate the efforts made by the organizing team to conduct such a webinar series throughout in this state. On behalf of our college, our department and our students, I wish all the success of this program. Thank you, everybody.